Hey y'all, this is Dan the RV Man here with a walk around on our 2020 Winnebago Vita. We're going to go walk around the outside, take a look at some of the different features, and then we'll go inside and check out the floor plan. Mercedes chassis. This will be a 3-liter V6, putting out 188 horsepower, 325 foot-pounds of torque. It's plenty to get you around, but still nice, quiet, and calm. This coach, considering the year, is actually pretty darn nice. It's a 2020. Fairly low miles for the year. Let's see. Propane tank sits right down here. On and off valve you're going to use to open up or close that propane system. Just above it we have 2 plugs on the exterior. You can plug in all of your margarita makers, TVs. As a matter of fact, there's even a connection for the cable system sitting right next to it, or lights or anything else. Next to that we have the Suburban exhaust. That's for the furnace that sits inside. You can use covers, small mesh covers that go over there to prevent any sort of bugs or wasps from trying to make a nest inside. I always recommend that, especially up here in sunny old Idaho. Water heater sits right over here. Old manager of mine used to always give me crap every time I said hot water heater. It's like, why are you heating hot water? Anode is in pretty decent shape. We're going to go ahead and reinstall that, make sure it's all correct and set up for you. You do want to remove that piece of metal when you're going to winterize your coach. What that does is it's a sacrificial piece of metal that will actually break down before any kind of rust sort of attacks your actual water tank. This will be a 6-gallon water tank in here, and then it just slides right into this hole and gets tightened up on top of that. As with everything else that we're going to be doing out here, we're going to clean up the coach, make sure it's pretty for you, make sure all the major systems are functional for you, and then I myself will give you a walkthrough on this coach so you can see everything, basically do exactly what we're doing right now, and make sure that you're comfortable with it and know how to use it when you are out there traveling. The other big advantage with this is it's going to be a direct spark ignition water heater, so there's no coming out here at 2 in the morning if you're trying to wash your hands or do something or take a shower and holding out a little lighter trying to fire that up and make sure that the water heater is actually able to get hot for you. Pretty big storage container sitting right back here. You're going to have 2 winterization valves that sit right behind this. These are going to help you drain out any water that might accumulate in the system and give you access to your water pump. This will also be the point where you would flush all of your water lines and put through that food safe antifreeze in order to prevent these things from freezing up on you. Over here we have the controls for the stabilizers that are mounted up in the back. I'll show you a quick video on that in just a moment here. Press down on either side and that's going to bring those jacks down. Press back up and it's going to bring it up. Always want to check on those before you leave. Make sure that everything is going to be safe. You're not going to drag the back end of the coach while you're trying to get on the road there. Okay. Big rotoformed storage area with a regular storage up and above that right there. Twist locks on the outside. Steel bumper. It's always nice. A lot of these companies nowadays are using a single piece fiberglass cap, and problem with that is little Susie Q is driving along, doesn't think about what's going on, and she bumps into the back of your car. A small fender bender when you have a single piece fiberglass cap like that can be, well, it can total the whole coach, whereas this piece of metal is going to be a lot less money to actually replace and fix. I always recommend going with these, plus amazing storage for your stinky slinky right down there. Ladder is up here. Should be rated just enough weight to get in and out. Ugh. Solar panel already mounted up on top. I believe they were using a PVC roof in this year. If not, it's TPO. Very low maintenance. Definitely check your seals at least once a year. Ensure those are all functional. Make sure nothing's cracking and it's not going to allow any water in. You have your Coleman Mach air conditioning marked right up there. Coming over to the side here, we're going to have all of the connections. A couple of different ones right here. You're going to have your potable water. So this is going to be able to basically pressurize the entire coach without having to run your water tank. If you can, I always recommend using a filter and a pressure regulator. A lot of times at RV parks, the water there tends to be a little bit harder, and it also tends to have a lot of fluctuations in pressure. So if you get everybody downstream from you flushing their toilet at the same time, putting that pressure regulator is going to save you when that water hammer comes down the line and basically doesn't burst all your pipes. Next to that right here, we have your black tank flush. Inside of your black tank, there's a sprayer that's going to help you remove any solids that have mounted up onto the sides of that tank and let's just say made a nasty situation. Right over here, we're going to have the hookups for cable. A lot of RV parks still have cable available, so you can use that to run that into your coach and do that. As well as a connection over here from Zamp for a suitcase panel. Should you want to add on a little bit extra, or if you're parked under a tree but still want to take advantage of solar, you can absolutely do that. Down below, we have the connection for your 30 amp service, coiled up nicely in there. You can take that out and plug it in when you're at a campsite. Use the power from the site itself instead of having to use your generator the entire time you're out there. The waste tanks sit right down here. Both come out of the same emptying hole. My recommendation, always dump your black tank first, then shortly follow that with your gray tank. That way you kind of let that soapy water from the showers and sinks kind of flush out some of the stuff from the black tank, and that's going to make your life a heck of a lot easier. Storage mounted up right down here. Generators right next to that right there. I do like that they put this on the complete opposite corner of where the corner bed sits. Kind of keeps things quiet at night. You're not going to sit there and listen to it rumble the entire time, especially if you're doing a lot of dry camping. It's going to be real advantageous for you. Slide out toppers right there. Nice little windows. I do like that they did the regular sliding windows instead of doing full-on frameless windows, especially where I'm used to camping out in the desert. It's nice to be able to open up those windows instead of only getting an inch or two of ventilation. You actually have half of that window moving up and out of the way in order to give you as much airflow as possible. Here we have the awning coming out. This is not a wind sensing awning. This is a you sensing the wind awning. So you're going to have to go in and make sure that you're flipping the switch on that and bring it in. My recommendation, always use these while you are currently at the coach instead of leaving it out all the time. Gust of wind, bunch of air comes through. You could conceivably have issues with that causing damage to the actual awning itself. It's better if you're there next to it and you can watch and mitigate those issues before they actually pop up. Going to come on inside. Your batteries are going to be mounted up right down here. It looks like the previous owner actually put some really heavy-duty AGMs in here. 6 volt it appears, judging by the way they're wired. All of our techs are going to go through and check in on every coach that we have, make sure that there's going to be no issues with it. In regards to mechanical issues, we'll make sure air conditioners, water pumps, things of that nature are taken care of. Over here you're going to have the control panel for your generator, the Zamp solar controller, which is good up to 30 amps. You're going to have your controller right here for the water heater and for your water pump, and then this is also going to give you your tank levels. So battery right there, fresh, black, and gray. Slide out control is up here. It's not going to work for us right now. On this model, you're going to have the engine running and the emergency brake set. I always recommend when you're putting in and out your slide that you go and check inside and out, make sure nothing's in the way, make sure the chair for the driver's seat is moved forward. So you're going to have that clearance when this slide out comes in. That's going to keep everything from having any sort of issues or interfering with itself. Controller right here for your inverter. That's going to run 110 volt refrigerator, which is mounted up over there, or that can also run off of the generator depending on what you're doing. In order to start the gen, you would just press and hold the button. And that'll fire right up for you. And then when you're done, you simply press this button, pop it open, and that will turn it off. All you're doing with this is turning on the control panel for it, and you just push the button to actually start. Water pump, mount right there. Water heater, controls right there, but we don't have any water in there, so I don't want that to fire up for us. Sink is right over here. Cutting board set up to match. On this side as well. I don't believe that actually came on this coach. This may be something that somebody else added after the fact. 3-burner stovetop right over here. Always switch these to the light position and then give her a good solid spark. Don't think we have. There we go. That one to fire. I just had to bleed through some of that extra air that was in the system. Fantastic. Please, whatever you do not turn this on with this glass up on the top. It will shatter, and it is quite unsafe. Corner bed sits right over here. You have plenty of storage up and above. TV mounted right across. Apparently there's a nice little dowel rod to be able to mount up a few things right there. Thermostat controls sit right there, and a nice little pocket for your remotes that you can tuck away. Phone charging up on the top over here. Little lights underneath. Shower. Right up here in the back, there is the little shut-off switch. Right up there at the top. Controls for the hot and the cold. Toilet is mounted up right down here. Little hooks to mount your towel. And one of my favorite features, the fantastic fan mounted right up here. There's a cutout for your head, if you're a taller guy like myself. Screen that goes across for the actual shower itself. One thing that I do like and not many people notice is just inside of there's actually a little squeegee that it uses to wipe these clean. Prevents hard water staining and things like that. There's a bit of a soft spot on the floor right here. I'd imagine from the sink or the shower from coming out. Cute little vanity over on the side with your light switch for everything. Good storage there. Refrigerator and freezer. Great storage. Seat belts are back here on this side. Let me see if the other side has them as well. Not on this side, but they do have the cushions for filling that out and turning it into a bed mounted up down there as well. Fantastic fan mounted up here on the front as well, so you can have plenty of ventilation, especially out here in the summer when the rains come. Definitely want to have as much free-flowing air as possible. Vizio TV mounted up over here on the side. And it looks like they ran some wiring to put the... There you go. And that ties into the connections over here. If you have a Xbox or satellite system or DVD player, you could quite easily use all of those up there as well. Great cabinetry storage over here. And your microwave mounted up down below. This is going to be a convection microwave as well, so you can do a decent amount of cooking. So it says right there. Mercedes front end. Let's see, what do we have? 16,493 miles. Oh, shocking. It's like they didn't even use it. Got to go camping with these. Whoever picks this up next, you got to make me a promise. You have to promise me you're going to go camping in it and you're actually going to use it. All right, guys. Well, this is Dan the RV Man. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for checking this out. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.